gentlemen, or good morning wherever you are. If it's morning, where I am, it's afternoon. And today I'm going to be talking about Australia. Yes, guys, Australia has launched a new visa, and this visa was launched today, the 7th of December, 2024. So I thought, let me come up and tell you about this new visa route which has been launched. You might ask yourself why I am saying it's a visa for everyone. Well, it is a visa for everyone because there's a new shortage occupation list. And guys, in this shortage occupation list, there are so many, we've got things like teachers wanted, social workers are wanted, care workers, doctors, engineers, beauty therapists, hairdressers, plumbers, bricklayers. So many occupations are in the shortage occupation list. That's why I'm saying it's a visa for everybody, because it means whether you are highly skilled or you are medium skilled or you are lowly skilled, you can actually relocate to Australia under this visa route. So I'm going to be telling you briefly about this visa route today. So the new visa route which has been launched today is actually called the Skills in Demand visa. So Australia has launched a visa called the Skills in Demand visa. And under this visa route, there are three subcategories. It's subcategorized into three. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the details of this new visa route, what the eligibility criteria is, who can apply. Like I've already said, this is a visa for everyone. That's why it's subdivided into three, so that you check whether you're in the first category or in the second category or in the third category, and then you can apply to go and live and work in Australia. And the beauty of it is that you can move together with your family. So guys, if you can hear me, say good morning or good afternoon to me so that I know that I am not talking to myself. Just drop a good morning or a good afternoon before I dive into today's visa route that I'm going to be talking about. Good afternoon, Barbara Kurewa. Afternoon, Biba. Afternoon, Claude. I hope you guys are doing very well. I am doing fantastic. As you can see, I am looking fantastic because I'm doing fantastic. Only it's very cold today and there is too much. We've got a storm and it's really something else, accidents and everything happening. But it shall be well. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about a visa route which has been launched in Australia, and it was launched today, the 7th of December, 2024. Although I should make a video, but it's easier for me to come on live, because if I'm on live, I can easily communicate with you guys. And if you've got any questions, whether it's related to this visa route that I'm going to be talking about, or it's related to any other thing, you can drop your questions and I'll be answering your questions as we go along. Afternoon, Cynthia, Hello, Salisu, Lucia, thank you so much for joining me, guys. So Australia is one of the countries which is experiencing a critical shortage. All the countries, like if you look at all the countries all around, whether it's European countries or whatever, they are experiencing a critical shortage of labor. And for them to be able to fill in all those vacancies that they have in their countries, they have no choice but to look for labor from overseas, which means they are launching this new visa route because they are failing to get workers within Australia. Then if they are failing to get workers within Australia, the best chance of getting workers to come and fill in all those vacancies which are available is to look at people who are overseas. And if you look at one of the new shortage occupation list, guys, it has over 456 occupations. I've already put it in the description box so that if you're overseas, you go and check this new shortage occupation list. And if you are in the shortage occupation list, you can then apply to go and live and work in Australia. So what is an SDV? SDV stands for Skills in Demand Visa. Skills in Demand Visa. I think this is self-explanatory. It means it's a visa which is going to be given to people who have got skills which are in demand in Australia, but they're failing to get people in Australia to actually fill in those vacancies. So it actually allows employers in Australia to sponsor you from overseas. Just like here in the United Kingdom, where we say that when you're applying, you have to apply to a company which is licensed to sponsor from overseas. It simply means that companies in Australia are licensed to sponsor from overseas, and they can actually hire you from overseas. And one of the visas actually doesn't even have an age limit. You know how it is when it comes to Australia, they always complain of all the age limit. I'm now 40, I'm now 45, I can't move to Australia. It actually doesn't have an age limit. So this skills in demand visa, guys, is subdivided into 3. So there are 3 categories, which means you can apply to go and live and work in Australia in any of the 3 categories. There is 1, the specialist skills stream. And the specialist skill stream, obviously, it looks at people who are highly skilled. There's a certain salary threshold that you're supposed to meet, and that salary is 135,000 per annum. So obviously, it looks at people who are highly skilled. And if you're looking at people who are highly skilled, who can earn up to 130,000 per annum, you're looking at people like doctors, you're looking at people like engineers, you're looking at, the highly skilled workers. I'm sure you know people who are highly skilled wherever you are, of people who are highly skilled. So this particular pathway is for people who are highly skilled. And this particular pathway, if you use this visa route, you are actually given a priority, which means if you apply for a visa, if your employer nominates you and you apply for a visa, they're going to make the process very, very fast because of this priority. You are prioritized. And then the next visa category, or the next category, which is there under this new visa route, where most of the people are going to fall under. Remember, I said they need teachers, they need care workers, they need social workers, they need plumbers, they need child care workers, they need family support workers, they need beauty therapists, they need hairdressers, they need builders, they need bricklayers. Guys, 456 different occupations, and you just have to check and see whether your occupation is there in the shortage occupation list. So the core skills is the one which has the new shortage occupation list, which has replaced the one which was the temporal skills shortage in Australia. And this shortage occupation list has got 456 occupations. Whether you are a farmer, whether you are a teacher, you have a slot for you. There is a shortage and you need to apply, guys. Because most of the time people tend to shun, Australia is really difficult to penetrate. Australia is not difficult to penetrate if other people are able to penetrate it. Hard work and determination is what always gets a man or a woman what you want. So if you really want to move to Australia, you put in the hard work and you'll be able to relocate to Australia in 2025, and you'll be moving together with your family. Okay. So what, Joker, what is the problem with that? Do you have a problem with that? What's the problem? Anyway, that is not important, because what is important is the information that I am sharing with people who are here. Or whatever your complaint is about is really not important. So the next category is the labor agreement. So the first category is for highly skilled, the second category is for core skills, and the third category is for the people who are highly skilled. And if you're looking at people who are, the third category is for labor agreement. If you look at care assistants, last year they launched the visa route for care assistants, and they agreed that for people to relocate to Australia as care assistants, whatever company is hiring from overseas is supposed to have what we call a labor agreement. And for that company, for you to be able to be sponsored by that company, it has to go through the Australian government and have what we call a labor agreement. And ever since they added carers to the shortage occupation list, so many companies which are in need of care assistance from overseas, because this is one thing which Australians have been complaining about, that they actually actually signed the labor agreement, but very few people have been hired from overseas. Why? Because the majority of us tend to shun doing the skills, because you need to have a skills assessment. You have a skills assessment so that they relocate to go and work overseas, because they believe that it is difficult to have your skills assessed so that you move to Australia. However, In today's eligibility criteria, this is what is written on their government website. The first one, the specialist skills, they need you to have a skills assessment where they assess your skills and they check whether they meet with those which are in Australia. And the second one, core skills, they also need a skills assessment. But the third one, which is going to be the easiest one for you to relocate to overseas, which is the labor agreement skill, it is not written that they need a skills assessment. It's not me, it's what is written in the Australian government, that it's not indicated that they need a skills assessment. And what I've done is, for you to find out more information about this new visa route, I've actually left the link in the description box to the Australian government, and I also left the link to the shortage occupation list, the new shortage occupation list, which was announced today, the 7th of December 2024. So what is the eligibility criteria? There is what we call the basic eligibility criteria, what you need to have for you to be able to relocate to Australia via this visa route. And they've got 3 basic eligibility criteria which they mention that you need to follow. Of course, they go on, each subcategory goes on to, subdivide whatever else is needed. But there are 3 basic eligibility criteria that you need to meet. The number 1 basic eligibility criteria that you need to meet for you to be able to relocate to Australia is to be nominated for a skilled position by an approved employer. It's just like when you're moving here to UK. What do we mean by nominated? We mean that, let's say you want to relocate as a hairdresser, or you want to relocate as a support worker, or you want to relocate as a social worker, or you want to relocate as a nurse, or something of that sort. You are going to apply. There are so many companies, that there are so many websites, Australian websites, which actually are hiring from overseas, where they indicate that they are hiring from overseas. So you go and look for a licensed sponsor from those organizations, and you apply to a licensed sponsor. And once you apply to a licensed sponsor, they will nominate you for the job. And once, if you meet the eligibility criteria, obviously, so once they've nominated you for the job, you can now then apply for, that's the eligibility criteria, you can now then apply for a visa to relocate to Australia. That's the number 1 eligibility criteria. The number 2 eligibility criteria is that you have to have the right skills to the job. That is the positive skills assessment, if it's not the labor agreement route that you're using. So what do we mean by positive skills assessment? Let's say you want to relocate to Australia as a support worker, or you want to relocate to Australia as a nurse, or you want to relocate as a plumber, as a hairdresser, as a massage therapist, as a, whatever role that you want to undertake in Australia. Your qualifications, they need to be assessed first, so that they see that you meet the eligibility criteria. Because what has been happening here is that the majority of the people, they relocate because they don't assess your skills. People just write down that I've got this, I've got this, I've got that, but they don't assess the skills. When they come here in UK, they end up having problems. I'm sure you know of the so many problems that the majority of people have actually encountered here in the UK. So to curb those problems, you have to go through the positive skills assessment. And once you have that positive skills assessment and you have passed the positive skills assessment, you can then apply for whatever job that you want in Australia, which means you have met the eligibility criteria, you have the right skills for the job, and they can take you so that you can relocate and go and work in Australia. The number 3 eligibility criteria that you need to meet is the English requirement. Each category has got its English requirement, and some categories, like under the core skills visa route, some categories you have to meet English skills of 4.5 in each category, which means the IELTS is very, very, very easy. The IELTS requirements that you need to meet are very, very easy. If you have done IELTS, for example, you have done IELTS UK VI, you can still use the IELTS for UK to actually move to Australia, because the examination that you write, whether it's UK VI or it's general IELTS, the examination that you write is the same. So in case you have IELTS that you wrote for UK VI, you can use that very IELTS to relocate to Australia. Each category has got its IELTS, which is required, but most categories, they need you to have 4.5 in each English in speaking, listening, reading, and writing, 4.5 in each category, which is very easy, guys. I'm sure most of us or all of us can get a IELTS band score of 4.5. Otherwise, basic is IELTS band score of 5. Then you'll be able to relocate to Australia. Obviously, it's going to differ if you are highly skilled. For example, if you are moving in as a nurse, if you are moving in as a doctor, if you are moving in as a, such categories, just like here in UK, in as much as you can move to UK with a band score of 4 in all other categories for healthcare assistance, you cannot move to UK as a nurse with a band score of 4. You need to have at least a band score of 7. So it differs it depends on how highly skilled you are. The higher the skills, the more the IELTS, or the higher the band for IELTS that is required, and the lower the skills which are needed, and the lower the band score which is needed, guys. So because I don't want this video to be long, I just wanted to give you an announcement. I just wanted to make an announcement that a new visa route has been announced, so that if you are interested in relocating to overseas, then you can look at this other visa route, because as we all know, it's becoming increasingly difficult for individuals to relocate to UK. UK has put in so many difficult measures. Carers should not bring in their families. Now they are not happy about migration levels to UK, whether it's legal or illegal migration. They're just not happy. They're intending to put a cap. They're intending to change the points-based system and all that. This is another opportunity for you. If you want to relocate to Australia, Australia has launched a new visa. So I've left in the description box the new shortage occupation list, so that you go and check the new shortage occupation list and you see if you meet the eligibility criteria. Each category, they subdivide each category, and each subcategory, they tell you, other than these 3 basic eligibility criteria, there are other things that you need to meet. For example, they say, if, for example, you have had a visa denied, maybe you're coming to UK and you've got a visa denied, you might not get a job in Australia. That's 1. 2, they need you to be healthy, like your health check and whatever. You need to have a health check and all those things for you to be able to relocate to Australia. Positive skills assessment and all. So you go and look at whichever category you are interested in, and you read on the category, and then you can apply for jobs. And you let me know if there are jobs that you're interested in, because it's easier if I come and share jobs with you. You tell me, I'm interested in relocating as a care worker, or as a nurse, or as a plumber, or as a what, then I can search for those jobs, and then I come and share with you. So now I'm going to award you an opportunity to ask questions, whether related to Australia or related to UK or related to any other thing that you want to ask, whether it's migration or it's non-related to migration. You can drop your question down here, and I will respond to your questions. Then I will round up this live, because after this live, I'm going live again. I'm going to be talking about relocating to the Republic of Ireland as a care assistant, because carers are needed in the Republic of Ireland. And I'll just, after this live, maybe give myself 10 minutes to get my stuff or my shit together. Then I come and share with you how you can relocate to the Republic of Ireland, what the eligibility criteria is, and what you need to meet. So after this live, you can ask your questions now, and I'll round off this live. Then I'll come live again and talk of the Republic of Ireland. So any questions, drop them down. So let me check if there are any questions before I round up. The information about message dispense. No, message dispense, I don't talk of message dispense. Hazel, thank you so much for the compliment. I'm a teacher from Zambia, and my husband is an electrician. So do you stand a chance? Yes, teachers are needed, because they put their primary school teachers, which are needed in Australia. They need preschool teachers. They also need nursery teachers, and they need electricians. So if you look at the shortage occupation list, you just go there, because I left it in the description box. Just go to the description box, look at the shortage occupation list, see where you fall under. Then you look at the requirements, and then if you meet all the requirements, you can simply apply, because they clearly stated they need all forms of teachers from primary to pre to secondary, there is there are vacancies. Like even for, and the good thing about teachers, you in Zambia, where you are a teacher, it's not only Australia which needs teachers. Teachers are high in demand. Teachers are needed in the United Kingdom. Teachers are needed in New Zealand. Teachers are needed in the Republic of Ireland. And the beauty of it is that if you are relocating as a teacher, you are paid up to £10,000. You are paid up to 10,000 New Zealand dollars. You are paid up to, there is money set aside specifically for teachers, because teachers are high in demand and teachers are needed. So do not only look at Australia. There are other places which are easier to penetrate, like the United Kingdom. There are places which are easier to penetrate, like the Republic of Ireland. It's very easy to locate as a teacher, as long as you meet the eligibility criteria. You have your degree, you have your, here there's a certain assessment that you have to do. For you, simple, you just go online and have your degrees assessed, and if you want to pass that assessment, you can relocate to UK as a teacher. And UK is also offering £10,000 for teachers to relocate from overseas to come and work here in the United Kingdom. So if you are a teacher everywhere, including places like China, like Singapore, and they need teachers. So don't put your eggs in one basket. If you are really interested in relocating, you look at all those other places, including Australia, of course, because the teachers are there in the shortage occupation list. Okay. And then ouch. No problem. Here's the information about the Mercedes. No one is interested in the Mercedes Benz. Is there anyone interested in Mercedes, guys? I don't think so. I'm an electrician with IELTS UKVI bench score 6.5. Do I stand a chance, and how can I go about it? Electricians are needed in Australia, my dear, but most of the time when they talk of electricians, well, it depends, because even here in Northern Ireland, not in the Republic of Ireland, I mean Northern Ireland, even here in Northern Ireland, they do need some electricians, but at times they advertise that the electrician has to be under engineering or something like that. So you need to check what the eligibility criteria is, because they need electricians and they put an allied bench score of 4 for the electricians and all that, but there will be an addition that they need you to be under an engineering sector or what. So in Australia, they did specify that electricians, so you have to go and look for electrician jobs offering visa sponsorship, and you check the eligibility criteria, or rather have a skills assessment done, so that they assess and they tell you which category you can fall under in Australia. And once you have that positive skills assessment and you know which category you fall under, you can then now apply to electrician jobs if you've passed the positive skills assessment. Okay. Before we apply, should I have my police clearance and TP test and IELTS? Do they also need O-level? Obviously, some of these jobs, O-level is basic. For some of these jobs, you cannot get a qualification without your ordinary level, like for example, accountant and so forth and so on. But there are jobs which don't specify ordinary level. For example, if you are looking at a support worker jobs, if you are looking at a care worker jobs, if you are looking at, they don't really specify that you need to have ordinary level, as long as you have qualifications. And for all these jobs, guys, they need 1 year experience. All these jobs, doesn't matter whether in category 1, category 2, or category 3, they need you to have at least 1 year experience. So definitely IELTS, you need it. It's easier for TP test and all that. It's unlike here in UK, where they say automatically go for a TP test before you apply. When you are now due, if you've been approved by your employer or whatever, they will then tell you, because it's not only the TP test that they need. They will tell you that they need your TP test, they need HIV, they need hepatitis. What there are certain tests that you need to do before you can move to Australia, and there are certain Like sometimes if you are HIV positive and things like that, they might not take you and all that. So they will have specific tests, like the healthcare tests that you need to do before you relocate to Australia. You don't have to go and start doing your TB test before you apply and get a job. Once you get a job, that's when they'll tell you that these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tests that we need before you can relocate. But IELTS definitely you must have. Relevant qualifications is definitely you must have. Cynthia says, I have no experience. Do I have any chances of moving to Australia? I have a Bachelor of Commerce in Law. Do you have any other countries you can suggest? I took into... Okay. Experience is of paramount importance. Whether you are relocating to UK, whether you are relocating to Australia, whether you are going to Luxembourg, whether you are going to Austria, because all these countries, they need workers. But experience is of paramount importance because you are competing with people with experience. If you come as a fresher with 0 years experience and you are comparing yourself with someone with 5 years experience, who do you think the employer is going to want to employ? Are they going to employ you with 0 experience, where they're going to start from scratch teaching you how to do the job, or they'll opt for someone with 5 years experience? So you need to have experience. Just at least 1 year experience. If you have 1 year experience, you're good to go. So without experience, your chances have become very, very, very slim. Guys, they become very slim. That's the thing. Claude Malai, with Australia, medical test is done when your visa sponsorship reaches a certain level. They do a thorough medical test, not just exactly. That's what I've just saying. They just don't do TB. They do a thorough medical test, HIV, what, and if you have things like HIV, and they might not take you. I don't know whether I should call it discrimination or what, but they don't take you. My son has done health population. The best thing that your son can do is to have that health population course evaluated by the Australian government to see what skills he has and which category he falls under. Because Australia, before you apply for anything, they need to evaluate your skills. And once they approve your skills, you can apply and simply go and work in Australia. Okay, Rusty Nail. So his comment is, you could eat corn on cob through a picket fence with your teeth. It's not my fault that I was born with a gap between my teeth. I don't choose to be born with a gap between my teeth, my darling. If I had a choice, I wasn't going to change it because it's unique to me. This is what defines me. You understand? So I'm not ashamed of the fact that I've got a gap between my teeth, because when I was born, I did not say, God, give me a gap between my teeth. I was naturally born with a gap between my teeth. And it's not going to change anytime soon because you have come here on social media and tried to troll me. Whether you like it or not, it's not going to change me. It's not going to put food on your table if you hate it. It's not going to not put food on my table because you hate it. You understand? So you can go away with your trolling. I'm not going to change my teeth or the way I speak because of you. I can't change myself, understand? Are they taking teachers? Yes, they are taking teachers. It's clearly written in black and white that they need all categories of teachers in Australia. So guys, this is me rounding off this video. I'll come back with another live just after this one to talk of specifically care worker jobs in the Republic of Ireland. If you know someone who's interested in relocating to overseas, kindly share this video with them so that they can They can, start preparing. Because what is needed is for you to start preparing to move to, so that they start preparing. Go to the shortage occupation list, check, because the people, they are asking, are they taking teachers? There are 456, is it 456? There are 456 occupations which need people from overseas. Occupations like hairdressers, occupations like bakers, occupations like chefs. Don't know whether it's a chef or it's a chef. Chefs, cooks, There are so many occupations there. So it's a matter of you going to check whether your occupation is there in the shortage occupation list. And the link is just in the description box. Just go to the description box and then you go and check that out. Understand? Check that in the description box. Check your eligibility criteria and then you apply. So guys, this is the short video that I wanted to share with you, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to me talking about Australia. If you know people who are interested in relocating to Australia, kindly share this video. If you found this video to be helpful as well, may you kindly like this video. Liking the video is pretty much free. You don't pay anything for liking this video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. For those who will be joining me in the next live where I'm talking about the Republic of Ireland, I will see you in the next live. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. And Modi, thank you for the compliment. Bye.